What's up to everyone at the Black Boss Network? This is
Harris. This is John Henry Harris, and we have a special breaking news report here at the Black Boss Network. We're here where we just where we control, where black men control the conversation, and I know everyone's preparing for tonight's All NBA All Star Game in Atlanta, Georgia, and there is breaking news coming out of Atlanta regarding the NBA All Star Game. This is Say What, Say Word featuring John Henry Harris. And the breaking news that we have is that Philadelphia 76ers stars Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid ruled out of the NBA All-Star Game. And the reason why they've been ruled out of the NBA All-Star Game is due to COVID concerns. Now, we're very aware of COVID and its effect on the NBA. We've seen its effects clearly last year's playoffs and championship as they had to go in the bubble to protect the players themselves against the spread of COVID-19. Now, due to COVID-19 protocols, the NBA has already condensed the All-Star weekend to a single day, which is today, Sunday, March 7th, 2021. The Rising Stars game was canceled and the slam dunk competition was moved to halftime of the All-Star game, with the three-point contest as well as the skills competition taking place before the game. But as we go to the breaking news, Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, they've been ruled ineligible to play in the NBA All-Star game on Sunday night due to exposure to an individual who recently tested positive for COVID-19. Now, this individual was their barber. Their barber, a personal barber for Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, has been identified as a COVID-19, as recently tested positive for COVID-19. The two Philadelphia 76ers stars, they faced contact with this barber before they arrived in Atlanta. Prior to traveling to Atlanta, Philadelphia's Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons had contact with an individual who's confirmed today to have tested positive for the coronavirus. As a result, Joel Embiid, who was picked by Team Durant, and Ben Simmons, who was picked by Team LeBron, will not play in tonight's NBA All-Star game, is the story in the word that the NBA put out in a statement this morning. Participation for other All-Stars and members of the 76ers coaching staff in Atlanta is not affected because they were not exposed to the individual in Philadelphia. Now, for the simple fact that Joel Embiid, who was playing for Kevin Durant, and then you have Ben Simmons, who was picked by LeBron James, they've decided not to replace those two players. So each team will be down one player. But it does speak a lot to the effect of COVID and how it is really affecting our sports moving forward. We have two stars, Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, especially Joel Embiid, who's one of the NBA he's one of the leaders for MVP this year. So it's a great loss for the fans, especially for Philadelphia 76ers fans. And it's a move that had to be made to protect the other stars that are in the NBA and who will be playing at the NBA All-Star game. Again, breaking news out of the NBA, Philadelphia 76ers stars Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid ruled out of the NBA All-Star game. Now, this also raises concern for other reasons, because there were a lot of stars that did not want to play in the NBA All-Star game. They felt like the NBA All-Star game should have been canceled anyway. And at the result of Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid and this scare and just the possibility of what could have happened, a lot of people are calling for Commissioner Silver's head. They're saying that the NBA Commissioner Silver needs to step down. They're saying that he needs to be fired, step down right after this game. Now, will that happen? I don't know. Does Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons come into contact with a barber who tested positive for COVID? Is that necessarily Silver's fault? I wouldn't say so. Uh, Haircuts are very important to us, as men, especially in the black community, as black men. The role the barbershop plays, and just getting a haircut and looking respectable and things of that nature. Uh, it's kind of being stuck in a rock in a hard place. I think the NBA is doing the right thing by ruling them out of the game. Uh, I feel for Ben Simmons as well as Joel Embiid for not being able to play. But I also do understand a lot of people's frustration because of the shortened season, the fact that they still wanted to have that money grab, that with that NBA All-Star game. And, that's the NBA All-Star game is such a promotional tool for the NBA. But in today's world, we really need to start thinking differently about how we're going to move forward for the protection of the players. So I'm really curious and about what you have to say here at the Black Boss Network about the fact that Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons will not be playing in the All-Star game, and how COVID-19 is going to really affect our sports moving forward, not just in the NBA, but the NBA, NFL, college sports, as well as us grooming our own kids to become athletes, and the effect that may have on them as well. Me personally, I did have my college paid for because I was a great football player. So I do understand the importance of athletics and the role it can play, especially in the young child, as far as not only their personal and sociological development, but also just with opening up a wealth of opportunities through your athletic abilities. I turned me being able to play football into a economics degree from the University of Kentucky. And that was a great thing for me. I was able to get my education paid for which otherwise I would not have been able to afford. I would not have been able to afford a degree from the University of Kentucky, especially in economics, without my athletic scholarship. But we really do need to start thinking about our youth and the protection and the safety of our athletes moving forward when it does concern this COVID-19 and any other incarnation of any other pandemics that may come forth in the future. So I'm not sure. I don't think that Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons not playing in the game is going to stop anybody from watching tonight. It's a disappointment for those fans of those players, and it raises concern for the athletes that are there in Atlanta. It's still NBA All-Star Weekend, a lot of partying, a lot of gatherings. I'm pretty sure social distancing is being compromised in a lot of different ways. But also when you have the nucleus of the NBA, the biggest stars that the NBA has to offer down there in one spot, and just the many opportunities there are for the spread of something like COVID-19, I think should be ringing alarms for not only the NBA but its players and their families. It's a sad situation. Again, I do feel for Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, but I know the show will go on. But how this show goes on into the near future is a really big question, especially when you're talking about COVID-19 and we're in the middle of a pandemic, and just the way this disease can be spread, and also the deadly, just the the way this disease affects our community. You know, COVID-19 disproportionately affects the Black community in such a way. And with the NBA being majority Black, this is definitely a concern for us and also for the continuance of the sport moving forward into the near future. So here at the Black Boss Network, we hope that you will comment, let us know. What do you think about what's going on with the Philadelphia 76ers stars Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid being ruled out of the NBA All-Star game? Do you think it's good protocol for them to do that? And how do you feel about the NBA moving forward? You know, with the rising COVID concerns, I know they're rolling out the vaccine. You know, there are different takes and different attitudes that are displayed as it pertains to the COVID-19 vaccine. But we really need to take a good look about how the NBA and our sports are moving forward for the protection of our athletes, as well as the fans and everyone working behind the scenes. So please leave a comment. Let us know what you think. This is your boy, John Henry Harris, for Say What, Say Word on the Black Boss Network. And y'all take care, be safe, and enjoy the game. Peace out.